We're taking you back to Monroe tonight after parents say they had to pull their 11-year-old child from the classroom, saying the school district never responded to their pleas for help. Their son says he didn't feel safe, that he'd been harassed with racial slurs. This is just the latest chapter for concerned parents in Monroe.
Earlier this month, a video went viral with students seemingly targeting a black high school student and using the N-word. Tonight, parents say the district is failing to act. Fox 13's Matt Smith takes us there.
By the time this video made the rounds earlier this month,
and that should be unacceptable.
Crecilius and his wife AJ,
it's been really tough on our family.
We're already aware of the racism unfolding inside the Monroe School District. Inside their 11-year-old son's school, Park Place Middle, this sign reads, quote, "No one has the right to interfere with the learning, safety, or well-being of others." A statement that may feel hollow to the Creciliuses tonight.
He just started being called, the N-word, to the point where he started to think it was normal. Like he kind of broke down and told my wife about what was happening, and then said, "I don't know, maybe it's just a normal thing that kids say." And
just so heartbreaking.
You put your hands on me.
When the incident at the high school garnered added attention, the district sent a letter home. The superintendent wrote, "My heart goes out to these students and families, and I commit that as a system, we will continue to learn and grow together." But when it came to Craig and AJ, they've been raising the alarm about their son being called the N-word and even being spit on since before this viral incident. Despite that, they tell me little was done, and the district didn't return my calls either. Now their son attends school via a laptop because neither mom or dad feel safe sending him back here. But they're hearing that can't be a permanent solution.
They're not set up for virtual, so that's not a long-term solution.
Again, it feels like with that comment, we were being pushed out rather than like, how is he doing? What can we do to help? It was more of, just so you know, this isn't something that we're set up to do, so this can't be something that you do long term. What are your plans?
Now, the parents say they aren't going anywhere. They want to stay here in this community, and they want to fix the problems that they have identified. And they're not the only ones. The Monroe Equity Council has a panel planned for tomorrow night with 10 to 12 parents and students, past and present, who've been dealing with these issues inside the Monroe School District for quite some time. They're going to be talking about what actions they think could help everyone move forward. We're in Monroe. Matthew Smith, Fox 13 News.
No turning back when your heart's under attack. Gonna give everything I have. It's my destiny. I will never say never. I will fight till forever. Make it right. Whenever you knock me down, I will not stay on the ground. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, and never say never. Never say never. Never say never. Never say never. Never say it. Never say it. I never thought that I could feel this power. I never thought that I could feel this free. I'm strong enough to climb the highest tower, and I'm fast enough to run across the sea. And there's just no turning back when your heart's under attack. Gonna give everything I have, 'cause this is my destiny. I will never say never. I will fight till forever.
speaking of bullying, the biracial 11-year-old, Crecilius, because that's the surname of his parents. I assume that's his surname. I would rather use his first name, but I don't know his first name. So, for the purposes of this commentary and this analysis, I'm going to use Crecilius to refer to that biracial kid who was being bullied. Reminded me of the movie Karate Kid with Jaden Smith, who played Dre, who was also an 11-year-old. Well, he was an 11-year-old playing a 12-year-old, but 11, 12 doesn't really make much of a difference. But anyway, Dre, or Jaden Smith, was being bullied relentlessly by kids at school who were bigger, taller, older, stronger, arms longer than his. You know the lyrics to that song, Never Say Never, Justin Bieber, Jaden Smith. See, I'm going to be honest, I don't even want to get started on Crecilius' father, because we all know that the biracial child's bullies look like his father, who is white. Other than the fact that they're teenagers and more than likely are 7th or 8th graders, while this bullied child is only in the 6th grade. Because, 11-year-olds are in the 6th grade if they're in middle school. Since that actually was a middle school that Crecilius was attending. The difference between Jaden Smith and Crecilius is that when Jaden Smith was being bullied, it was not racial as depicted in the movie. Goes to show that that movie was partly unrealistic, because you have this 11-year-old black boy who's being terrorized, bullied, and harassed by older non-black boys in China, when in reality him being bullied would have been racialized, as evidenced by the experience of this biracial child, Crecilius, who is being bullied worse than Jaden Smith in the Karate Kid movie, because it's racialized bullying, and if it's racialized bullying, it's going to be much worse. Any black child anywhere in the world that is being bullied by non-black children in a society that is not predominantly black would be racially bullied. I mean, they would use the N-word too, but in their own language. Whatever the N-word is in their language, they would use it against the black child they're bullying. I know they have an N-word in their language. So Jaden Smith, Karate Kid, was not realistic in that regard. It's not realistic at all, because how can you have a black child being bullied by non-black children and it not be racialized? It's unrealistic, yet that's what they portrayed in the Karate Kid. That's what they portrayed in that movie. Also, I was under the impression that boys that do get bullied in school do not have a father figure or a father that's active in their lives. Still, I gotta say kudos to the parents for actually listening to their child when he said that he didn't feel safe at school. They actually listened to their child and took him out of that school before something bad happens, because I've heard of children getting bullied and getting killed by their bullies. So I'm glad they took him out of that school. I'm glad they listened to their child and took him out of that school before something very bad happens to him, and the bullies would have lied, and their parents would have backed their bullying children and lied too, and all kind of things would have happened. See, these things are life and death. It's the sad truth. Still I agree that taking Crecilius out of school may not be a long-term solution, only the right solution for now. But I guess it could be a long-term solution if the parents considered homeschooling him. Because homeschooling, you have to make a lot of arrangements and essentially change your life if you're going to homeschool your child. To save the life of your child. What would you do? What are they going to do to make the condition at school safe for children? What exactly is the school administration and the school district going to do to make sure that the conditions are safe for children? What are they going to do? They can't even get that conversation started. There's too many of these schools trying to tiptoe around the bullying issue. Bullying has been a major problem in this country since forever. Clearly it's still a major problem because with every passing generation, bullying is still a problem. So that means that they are not getting into the nitty-gritty. They're not getting to the nitty-gritty of how to solve this bullying thing once and for all. They can't even get the conversation going when everything starts with a conversation. I agree. The parents have to take control of what's going on because that's your children. That's your child. That's not the child of the teachers. That's not the child of the school administration or the school districts. That's your child. So the parents really have to take a stand and take control of the situation. Under no circumstances should a 11-year-old be breaking down because he's getting racially terrorized, bullied, and harassed. Like, when he goes to school, he can't even think of his schoolwork because he's worried about being bullied. So it's like you're sending your child to school and they're not learning anything because they're worried about the bullies. It's sad that parents that did their job as parents have their children going to school with other children whose parents did not do their job as parents. That's why some children are bullies, because they have negligent parents. That's child negligence. If your child's a bully, you send your child to school to harass, racially terrorize, harass, bully, other people's children. You know what I'm saying? And that's my comment on the whole situation of that biracial child being bullied. Parents need to take a stand. Enough is enough. With every passing generation, it's the same thing. Like, bullying should be dealt with once and for all in this country. And another thing I forgot to add is that usually the child that is being bullied always has something over the bully. Like, usually the child's a straight A student and the bullies, they get like straight F's or straight E's. But the child that's being bullied usually have superior morals or superior intellect. They usually have something over their bullies. It doesn't have to be only straight A's. It could be anything that's superior to the bullies. And that's why they're bullying them in the first place. They know that the child that they're bullying is better than them in something, and they can't face up to that fact. You know, once they can face up to that fact, they don't have to be bullies anymore. They wouldn't be bullies anymore. You know, and I think the number one thing that the bullied child have over the bullies are parents that care about them, parents that love them and know how to show that love to their children. That's the number one thing that bullied children have over the children that are bullies. You know, so it is the parents. It's 100% the parents why children are bullies. It's definitely 100% the parents. You know, it's negligent parenting. If the bullies' parents were more active in their children's life, then their children wouldn't be bullies in the first place. You know, children need love and attention, and that's what bullies lack. They don't get enough love and attention from their parents. That's why they go to school and harass other people's children and act like that. You know what I'm saying? There's something in the child that they are bullying that they do not have in themselves. You know, and that's how the school districts can solve these bullying issues. You know, is with these parents. You know, the parents of these bullies have to make a change in their lifestyle and what they're doing that would contribute to their child being bullies in the first place. You know, they need to stop neglecting their child. It's as simple as that. There you go. I rest my case. Okay, why is Fox News
When
showing
the
that
incident at the high school
video
garnered added attention, the district sent a letter.
that has nothing to do with the biracial child that's being bullied and whose parents took him out of school? Like, what does that video have to do with anything? I mean, I know they're trying to say that by the time this video came out, yada 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 yada, but this video doesn't have anything to do with what they're reporting right now. So, you know, Fox News, they're kind of weird sometimes, to be honest.